Hi, this is Ron Tube. Today on Colorado the Angler, we're going after one of this week's new legendaries. It is Speilfinne, the legendary Atlantic salmon. So we've come to Norway. We'll go over location and what tackle we're using in a minute. We're using a 2.0 spoon. It's absolutely one of the best things for Atlantic salmon in the game. And Atlantic salmon are one of the best XP earners in the game. So you can catch silvers, golds all day long with this 2.0 spoon. It's absolutely amazing. I fish it at 2 speed. Basically, you cast it out, let it drop to about halfway, then just reeling constant at 2 speed. And like I say, it works for Atlantic salmon like you wouldn't believe. Literally where you start, I've done videos on this before, you can fish off the docks and just hammer them one after another. And here we go. We've got one now. Now we're going to catch some in between trying to catch Speilfinne. He's supposed to be in this location. What I'm going to see is, I think I've actually just seen him. What you want to look at this location where I show you is look for a big silver bar. You can sometimes see him on top of the water. You might see his fin just popping out the top of the water, or you might just see a big bar of sort of silver like cruising about. And you know where my rod tip's pointing now, I can just slightly see a big silver fish. So I think that's actually him. So hopefully we can get this in quick. Come on, I want to get you in. And then we'll get after him. Can't wait for the netting animation to get added. That's got to be added at some point, and it would definitely be a lot easier than the current system of the secure catch. Big fish like this, if you was keeping them, you'd just like gaff them or net them quickly. There's a few ways you would do them, but a netting animation would be the easiest really. Obviously we're returning them as well, so you wouldn't want to be gaffing something you're returning. So I've just seen him where my lure's just landed, and we're not going to let it sink as far, but we are going to do exactly as I said, 2 times speed. Now Speilfinne is a very strong fish and he's going to battle, so when we hook him it's going to be interesting how it goes. Each time is different, you never know. Sometimes they come in easy, sometimes they fight like you've never had a fight before. Sometimes you get them in easy and then they go out right at the boat and then start fighting. It's really interesting each week when you get one. So there we go. I know this is not a silver Atlantic salmon. So look at my drag. I've got it at 40 at the minute. You want to take it round to about 3/4 on the bar. You don't really want to push it too much. We'll take up to 50 and see how we go. But as you can see, it's going right up. So ideally, try and keep it about 3/4 of the red bar, and you shouldn't snap then, unless there's some super surge and you're a bit unlucky on lighter gear. But on this kind of gear, which we'll go over in a minute, you shouldn't get snapped at like 50% really. But sometimes you get impatient and you just want to bully them, so you do it a bit too much and then you end up losing the fish and get snapped. But look how I'm pumping the rod up and down really fast, gathering line. Like I say, certain fish are different. The key thing is to get your rod up in the air, then watch the tension drop down, then drop your rod down, and then reel straight back in. The pumping of the fish is very important to playing them. If you don't do it right, they'll literally just sit there all day and not come in properly, or you'll just lose line, or they'll just spoil you. So you have got to do it a certain way, and certain fish tend to be certain ways how you do it. So you just have to experiment when you're fishing. How's your fishing been this week on Colorado the Angler? I'm still after that elusive diamond tiger muskie. I've had loads of golds at Eisenhower Dam, and it's been going well, but I just can't seem to get that diamond one. I'm going to stick at it. I've been using mainly minnow on a level 2 hook to get the golds. I've had quite a few there. Like I said, it's really good for tiger muskie. If you fish on like a 3 and minnows, or a lure on a 3 hook, you will get tiger muskies one after another up to silvers, and then a gold occasionally. But if you fish on the 2s, you won't get as many bites, but you'll either get golds or diamonds. So that's what I've been trying. And the minnows, like I say, I've been bringing the golds quite regular. You do have to wait in between bites, but I haven't had that elusive diamond, which I'm really trying for. It's my most wanted sort of trophy fish in Colorado at the minute, the angler. But just not got him. I'm going to keep at it till we get one, and I'll make a video on it when we get him, hopefully. And fingers crossed it does happen. Let me know in the comments what you've been after. What is your favourite trophy fish you're trying to get? Is there a mission you're trying to do and you're struggling at? I know a lot of people struggle on the sunfish one, the gold one. That's probably the most commented one I see in Call of Wild the Angler official Discord is about the gold sunfish. So let me know if you're having any problems or anything. If I can help you out, I will do. But what I will say is, if you're not already a member of Call of Wild the Angler official Discord, make sure you join it, because there's a section in there called Resource Hub. I do mention this a lot, but it's got literally everything you need to know about the game. Hooks you to use for whatever species, baits, locations, it's all in that Resource Hub. Also, if you want to know when legendaries start, right, they go from Thursday to Wednesday. That's when the new ones start on a Thursday, then they stop on a Wednesday, then there's a day off, and then they start again on the Thursday. It's often 2 in rotation. This week it's Speilfinne and my arch nemesis Sidewinder, who's been a bit of a pig the last time I tried to catch him. I honestly seen him swim by my boat and he would not touch the lure. It was so frustrating last time I was on, so we're going to try and catch him this week. But yeah, it's Speilfinne and Sidewinder this week, if you want to know which ones there is. But in the trophy section, in the trophy shop section, you can see where people was catching the legendaries if you want to know, and they often give the locations. But we'll do it in each video when I do it anyway, every week. And I'll show you what tackle I'm using as well to help you out. If you want to see any guides for Call of Wild the Angler as well, let me know in the comments. I've already got quite a few up. I've done quite a lot of Call of Wild the Angler footage as well. I've been playing it since it started, well before it started actually. I was playing it in early access. So I do love the game, can't wait to see where we go. Can't wait to see what legendaries we get next, what new maps. I've been on about it recently. What would you like, which map next? We know we've got 2 on the way. I'd love to see an England map with a legendary carp. I've been on about this quite a bit recently. Boilies, leisure fishing, bite alarms, rod pods, so you can put your rods down, fish with more than 1 rod. How good would that be? You could stick 2 rods out with boilies or whatever bait you're using, stick them on the bite alarms, and then get your lure rod out or your float rod out. So you're constantly doing things. I think that'd be really exciting, and I think a lot of people would like that. And carp fishing is really big. But I've also got lots of ideas for other locations, like sea fishing for sharks, big species, you know what I mean, on boats, trolling, sonars. There's so much we could do. Marlin fishing, like I said, sharks, tuna, big game fish, do you know what I mean? That could be exciting. Then you've got other sides of fishing like ice fishing. A lot of people mention that. Pike, perch. You could have the little cabins, drill your holes where you're going. It could be really good. Drop a camera down there so you can see underneath the ice as well. So there's so many different ways of fishing and locations we could add. So it'll be interesting to see where we're going next. But we know we've definitely got 2 locations in the making or on the way, so it'll be interesting how that works out. Now, this is what I was on about with the legendaries. Speilfinne was coming in quite close, but now he's holding his own, and he's taking a bit of a struggle to get in. He's sort of keeping his own, and sometimes you get this when you get him in really early, and then they realise they're hooked. This is a real life thing as well. Sometimes if you get a fish, hammer it straight away, they don't even realise they're hooked, and then when they actually do see the net, they go on one. And sometimes you lose them at that point as well, because they wake up and then you get lots of power and they just go off on one, and you get spooled or your line snaps or something, because you don't expect them to do what they're going to do next. But we should get him now. This is always a tense moment when you get this, especially on the really big fish. This is the point where you can lose them, and I don't want to do that. Come on, we got him? Yes! There we go. There is Speilfinne, the legendary Atlantic salmon. So happy to catch him. I love catching them every week, all the different legendaries. A lot of fun. And I think I'll be going after Sidewinder next. But look how big he is. We could actually do with like a zoom in, zoom out. Because with the really big ones like Speilfinne, look, he hardly fits on the screen. So we could do him with a zoom in, zoom out. Maybe rotate your character or the fish or something. I'd like to see that like a trophy pose sort of system. Just so you can take little pictures with whatever software you use or in-game. That would be really nice. But he is a magnificent fish, and he fights really hard, and it's a lot of fun. So let's go over the location, shall we? So we're at Norway, and where you start here, basically get a boat, drive around to this location, and where I am in this sort of bay, straightforward sort of north sort of area. He could be anywhere in this sort of area, and what I said before earlier in the video, keep a lookout for a big silver shadow on top of the water. You might see his fin just breaking the water, but you do normally see him after a little while, and then it's just a case of casting your lure over to him. Let's go over the rod setup now, shall we? So this is my legendary setup for the big fish. So that's my rod, that's my reel, that's a braided line, 45 kilo, and the most important part, the spoon, the 2/0. Absolute gold mine for Atlantic salmon. If you want to get XP fast, use that spoon. It will get you silvers, golds all day long at Norway. It really is magic. It's one of the best items in the game, bait-wise. Another one is minnows, like I said, but the 2/0 spoon for Atlantic salmon is probably the best lure for them. So let's just find him. Where is he? Now here we go. So Speilfinne. So there is his details, his weight, his length, best score, and bait and lure preference. Eggs, spoons, and spinners. So we use the spoon, but you can use whatever you want, but that 2/0 spoon, I'm telling you now, is the best item for him. So I'm Ron McTube, been playing Call of Wild the Angler after the legendary Speilfinne, the Atlantic salmon. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channels, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.